Hello, everybody. Welcome to this live podcast, Let's Mind Travel podcast, where tonight's guest is Aztech Films, my good friend Joe Lombardi. You have seen his work most likely. I've been doing stuff with him for over 10 years now, and we've done everything from comedy to music. Um, and I'm going to bring him on in just a second here. I'm just doing a quick little intro for him. Let me just set up. But yeah, so today we got Joe. My countdown is officially up. So if you follow me on Instagram, it definitely just told you. So hopefully you guys have been able to join. Today we got my good buddy Joe on Aztech Films. I'm gonna go ahead and bring him on now, and we're gonna start talking. I do have some cool questions lined up, and then we'll go from there. We'll chop it up a little bit, talk some history, and then if you guys have any questions, we'll make sure to answer those. But let's do it. What's going on, dude? How are
How
you?
you doing, dude? It's good. It's good to be here.
Yeah, I can't complain, bro. Yeah, I was just giving you a little intro, dog. You know what
I
I'm saying? That's
appreciate it,
all.
dude. You did a great job, man. I feel flattered, dude. It's awesome, man. Thank you.
I'm trying, man. So the way I want to do this one, man. Usually it's free balling it for like the first 15 minutes or so, but I did have some questions I lined up for you, dude. That would be
Shoot
cool.
away.
And then
Let's do it. Yeah.
we got also some visuals. Real quick, shout out to the first person in the comments. Always shout out to you, Tara. 100%. Always supporting. So again, Joe, Aztec Films. I wanted to first off, man, ask you. So I know you as a man who does many things. When it
Way
comes
too
to
many.
a project, it's pretty much you doing everything and then me doing like being on camera.
You do
Do
more than
you
that.
have
Yeah.
dude. I'm there for support, bro. But would you give yourself one thing that you like enjoy the most? And I guess to start, I know you do coloring mainly, right? Is that like
That's
more as a profession, or is that more like
yeah.
like that? But as far as like passion and what you really prefer to do, what would be your favorite out of all the things that I'm around for?
Yeah, so basically to answer your question, my favorite thing would definitely be directing. Like I just love directing, production, creating a story, things like that. Like I really love storytelling and I always feel at home when I'm able to kind of like be on set and sort of like figure out how to craft that properly, I guess. Like, documentary is like always sort of my bag, I've just sort of been doing that for as long as you've known me. So, I've been in that space. But like, I do commercials and stuff like that and music videos and like anything really that you can come up with, I'll probably figure out how to do it. But yeah, to answer your question about the color thing, like yeah, so if you don't know, anybody who's watching, like color correction is like a pretty big part of film production, especially these days. Like you really have to have a colorist that can like take your footage from what you shoot to like what you actually put out to the world. Like it really takes polish to like make that stuff like look really good and presentable. So that's like my day-to-day thing that I've been doing for 6 7 years now, maybe actually more than that. And everybody needs it just because it's a really tricky thing to like learn and like figure out. And so it's something that I got naturally, I guess. Like it just never really was like that hard to learn. I just really gravitated towards it. So like that was like something that became like a day job in a way. I love doing it. And to everybody that I've ever worked with and all that, it's like I love doing it, but like, it ultimately it always comes down to me like being able to do, directing jobs, like creating. Um, that to me is like kind of the epitome of like what this craft is, I guess. But also I shoot, so I'm a director of photography, camera operator, whatever you want to call it. Like I've been doing that pretty much just as long. That is always fun for me just because like, being able to like see things through a camera is always like entertaining to me, being able to like, create, the picture, I guess. I don't know. Like it's like it's fun to me, but like, as I said, like it all comes down to like storytelling. Like I really love storytelling, you know.
No, I like it, dude. I like it, man. I always kind of, directed by, I always see like that being the thing, man. That when I'm around you, it seems like you're most intrigued
Yeah.
by, I would say, on a naturalistic level. So, in regards to like getting your start, was it something that you've always been interested in? Was there like a situation that at one point someone needed someone to film it, and you're like, yeah, shit, I'll do that, and then it turned into what it is now, or how did you get started?
Yeah, kind of funny story about that. So I went to art school like right out of high school. I went to art school because I just couldn't do anything else. I guess like I thought that was sort of the if I needed to do something, it's going to be somewhere in the arts, I guess. But when I got there, I sucked. Like I just suck at drawing and painting and all that stuff. Like I just was really bad, and I couldn't really figure out what I wanted to do. And then I just took like a video class, and I was like, oh, this is actually doable. Like I can film and edit. Like editing came really naturally to me, and I was like, I think this is it. So I just like kind of just prioritized learning that. And I had some friends in college that I still am like close friends with today that like, you know, I used to like work with and like they were doing things in college, like they were directing music videos like while we were in school, which I thought was like weird. I was like, you're actually working and going to school? That's crazy. So, you know, so I would help them out on set. And so I like learned, um, you know, how to do it kind of early. And so for me, I just always knew this was sort of a guarantee for me. Like if I had to like, do something for a career, like this is gonna be it because like it's just natural now. And like when I moved out here, actually, you're we'll go into like our backstory because like you're my first friend out here, which is awesome. But yeah, like you plugged me in, and so I like you know took it from there and like learned even more because you know you had a lot of friends that were like legitimate filmmakers that were like doing bigger things and you know I sort of had to like adapt from like the school like learner mentality to like okay like now you're getting paid for this like figure it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude. So when we first met, or actually, let me see, what was that guy here, bro? So the way that I first was introduced to you is I want to say it was a video that you had done for a rapper that I'm sure a lot of watch this live and once it's up on YouTube have heard of, especially if YouTube is a platform you frequent often for a while now. But Wax and Big Wax, I believe, on Instagram. But one of the, I
Big
would say
wax, yeah.
top, probably top 10, easily top 10 lyricist that I play within my Rolodex of music. Dude's incredible at storytelling, all the
Incredibly
elements that I
talented
really
guy, yeah.
enjoy. Yeah, dude. And
Yeah.
like in every arena, he's just a talented dude. But I think he did something for him. And then I started watching like a lot of in St. Louis. I feel like he did a lot of work in St. Louis with rappers at one point, right? That's kind of
Yeah.
another thing that really were music videos like the first thing you did out of school, or was that something you did during school, or
Yeah, actually, funny enough, I actually wanted to sort of indulge more into that story how we actually met because I think this is really funny. I don't know if you remember this, but yeah, like we did meet through Wax, like you know this musician. I met him through YouTube because he was putting videos on YouTube and he was friends with somebody I actually knew as well. And I was like, man, this guy's unbelievably talented. I was like, this dude is a crazy lyricist. So I was like, I gotta hit him up. I was like, might as well roll the dice. So I hit him up and I was like, hey, I'm in Ohio, but if you need a video, like let me know. Like if you're ever around Ohio, I know you're in California. And he was like, yeah, I'm actually playing a show in Cleveland. I don't know if you can get there. And I was like, yeah. So me and a few friends like took some cameras from my school and we drove up to Cleveland and like shot something for him. And he put it on his YouTube. Um, and then at one point I was like, hey, dude, I got to move out to LA. Like, can I like stay with you for like a few days to like get my bearings? And he was like, yeah, sure. So I flew to LA and he picked me up from the airport. And then like we went to his show. Like he was playing a show in Hollywood like that day. So he went from like LAX, like picking me up from the airport to like drive me to like his show. Cause it's like, you know, so literally we went to his show and you were selling your t-shirts outside of that show. And it was the language arts shirts. It was
I
like your
thought
own.
you
Yeah,
had
go ahead.
already moved to LA at that point? I thought for some
No.
reason when I initially messaged you, maybe it was for the show that I messaged you that I saw something.
So check this out.
Maybe I
Cause
saw the
it,
thing that was in Ohio because I felt like when I messaged you, I said, "Hey, dude, I want to do a music video. I saw what you did with Wax." And then I remember you saying, like, dude, I'm actually moving to LA in like a week, you
yeah.
know?
So
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 maybe,
basically, that's what how it happened afterwards. So basically, I met you at the show when I was visiting, and I remember being like, "Oh, cool! Like you're just selling your T-shirt," and you're like, "Yeah." I was like, "Ah, that's rad. Like that's a hustle."
yeah,
And so
dude.
anyway, so like months later, I graduated and I was like moving out to Los Angeles, and I got all my stuff straight. Like I got my apartment on Craigslist. Like it was very weird how I did it, but basically I didn't even see the apartment and I just like was like that looks doable. So I like put my name down on the lease and then I moved out to LA and then like the day before I moved out, you hit me up on Twitter and you're like, "Hey dude, I don't know if you're around or whatever, but I have a video. Maybe you want to do a video with me?" And I was like, "Yeah, dude." I was like, "I'm actually moving to LA tomorrow." And you're like,
Maybe it was
really?
tomorrow. Yeah, dude. Tomorrow sounds
Yeah.
right. I thought it was next week, but tomorrow sounds even cooler.
It was
That's right.
tomorrow. Yeah. And so what's even funnier
Yeah.
is you're like, where are you staying? And so I sent you my address and you're like, dude, you're like 2 blocks from me.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? And you're like, whoa, dude, you're like literally like 2 blocks from me. So I was like, all right. So then, yeah, dude, we're fast friends after that.
Hell yeah, dude. No,
Yeah.
I remember that show, dude. I think it was at the M Bar, if I'm not mistaken. Was it the
Ye-
M Bar or was
I
it a different one?
I don't
It was
remember.
off
It
of
was
like
somewhere in,
Vine or something
yeah,
like that.
it was like Dead Set Hollywood. Yeah. I don't remember the exact location, but it was somewhere there. Andy
Selling shirts was
Milonakis
fun.
was there. Do you remember that?
Yeah, dude. That guy, I think him and like Dumbfounded, and they were all
Dumbfounded. Yeah.
freestyling, and
Dumbfounded
yeah,
was, they were freestyling in the parking lot. Yeah. I remember that.
hell yeah, hell yeah. I yeah, dude, selling shirts was fun, bro. Like, also that's kind of how I had to end with Fat Beats, which was always that was a cool spot.
Fat
But
Beats. That's a whole
people,
other chapter, but yeah.
people get super pissed off though, dude, because I do them at like 2 for $20. Like because I just don't want to sit on shirts for the rest of my life. I got to move these motherfuckers. You know what I mean? And
You'll,
there's people trying
you'll
to
throw
sell
some
their
discounts.
shirts.
Yeah.
There's some people trying to sell shirts for like $40 at shows, and I would usually perform at the show and I would sell shirts, which was always like an added push. And this one particular show was pretty close to where I live now, in the Inland Empire in Southern California. And we went there, we got set up. I had to take it was insane wife, and then I think her cousin or something like that was with us at that point at that show. And we were all set up. And there was one other booth next to us, and their line was called Fuck Your Hustle. That was like the name of their company. And they were selling it for like 40-50 bucks a shirt. And
Wild.
yeah, dude, some dudes bought like 10 shirts off of me because they were a killer price and I had all these designs. And then like that night they ended up giving them back and said, dude, we don't really want to rep your shit. You know what I mean? Like, give us our money back. And I guess it's because the Fuck Your Hustle guys were just hating that much. So right
I
after
mean,
they got their
it's
money
on
back,
brand. I mean, it's on
because it
brand.
was like their boys, you know what I mean? They're, yo, man, I'm sure he went over and said, oh, I bought shirts from Homeboy, man, I can't get a shirt tonight. And the guy's like, yo, fuck that. You know what I mean? But it's like, wow, dude, that was aggressive. You know what I mean?
It's very,
But
it sounds extremely aggressive. Yeah.
that was the only negative experience I ever had. I guess I could have told like 100 positive ones, but that was the only negative shirt selling experience I had. It was always
Hey,
fun,
man.
dude. And I always got to
Yeah.
meet cool
It's kind of,
people,
yeah. Cool. Yeah.
but so another thing, but I was also just saying that I remember you doing a lot of stuff with like St. Louis
Oh yeah,
based
yeah, yeah.
rappers.
Forgot to
You know
follow
what
that
I
up. Yeah,
mean?
you're right. Yeah, so basically, like, in between like my transition from like where I went to school to like Los Angeles, I was like living at home for like 2 to 3 months, and I just knew like I needed to get some type of material under my belt to like move to LA. Like I knew I needed like something to like be like, hey, I do music videos. Here's what I've done. You know what I mean? I only did like one or two in college, like with my friend. So like like he had a very like when I was in college, like my friend had a very high production type of desire. So like his stuff was really good, but like because it was so high production, it took a long time. So I was like, I need like 5 or 6 of these things in my resume to like feel comfortable putting myself out there. So basically I just like immediately hit up a few people. You know Prince EA. He's a I guess he was a
I
rapper.
was
He's still a rapper,
actually,
but yeah.
I was, that's what I was kind of leading into, man, because I just remember thinking those videos were real dope. And also was, like, are there elements you took because you kind of were in the trenches with the music videos, that was your thing. Are
Yeah, I
there
was.
elements that you took from music videos that you've kind of integrated into other, genres and things like that? Because I feel like that's kind of your vibe, man. Like not that you have a specific vibe, but like there's the
I'll
element to
take it.
your editing. But the element of your editing is always very dynamic. You know what I mean? And it's like it could be very
Oh, thank you.
serious, but you could take
Yeah.
any moment and make it like very dope through the editing. Is that something that kind of stems from doing so many music videos, which are a lot of just pretty much trying to make a couple locations look badass and a lot of editing?
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah. And that's exactly kind of where it does come from. Like, because like all honesty, like I kind of entered this business like right when like it was possible to have like a very high production look with like not a lot of gear. Like, the DSLRs came in like those little Canon 7Ds were like brand new at the time. And so, the film industry was switching to that, instead of these big giant cameras, you could do a lot for like a little bit of production values or a little bit of production costs. So I bought one of those cameras and I just started like just shooting everything myself. Like I just ran out there with my own camera, my own lenses, my own like lights. And yeah, like exactly, dude. Like it just took like because I didn't have like an AC, I didn't have like an assistant, I didn't have like a director, I didn't have a producer, I didn't have any of that at the time. So you had to just sort of figure it out. And the thing that teaches you the lesson is like when you shoot on set and you get all the stuff you need, and then you go back and you edit and you're like, oh, I wish I got this, I wish I got that. Oh no, now it doesn't, now this whole section doesn't make sense because I don't have, this element and this element. So it's like you sort of teach yourself through the mistakes you make. And obviously, like, making those mistakes on that level is fine because, they're not that big of a, it's not that big of a risk, you know what I mean? Because they're not really paying that much money, and their audience is smaller. So you can make the mistakes a bit more on that type of job. But yeah, like I learned like a lot about like, oh, don't overshoot, but do get stuff that you can use because you never know. Like, like you remember like whenever I work with you all, like go shoot like birds or like a tree and stuff like that. And it doesn't make much sense in the moment, but like when you're editing, you have like these little cutaways and like you can like fill these gaps. Because like when you're editing, like, you have like the main parts that you film that, but then there's like little things that stitch it together that you can't really predict necessarily. So you like need these little things that stitch things together very nicely. And
It's
I guess
very,
just
it's
learned over
very,
time.
in my opinion, I mean, I'm coming from an ignorant standpoint, I have a limited knowledge on certain things, but it feels cinematic more or less to me, the B-roll element to have things that don't necessarily immediately complement the theme, but overall complement the piece, and like
Yeah,
this way it
totally.
brings a
Yeah.
dynamic to it. It's like it adds layers to it. Like in the video we did, you did with like the Easy Lou Jones. I remember in the backyard there was like a scooter in the ground with like plants growing out of it. And I think, and the reason I said something a couple of seconds ago that probably came off wrong, but most people wouldn't look at that and think something is there or it has any meaning within this piece, but it adds a depth to the environment that we're in. Like because then when you get the
Exactly.
outside
Yeah.
shot of the studio, we go into it, you see a little bit of broken glass, and then you realize, oh, this is like punk rock right here. This motherfucker don't even care that his scooter's been laying here for
Exact,
like
dude.
5 years.
Yeah.
All he
Exactly,
does is
dude.
he
Yeah.
goes out of his back door, goes to the studio, maybe goes smokes or something, but like that's all he's doing, and the scooter has no bearing in anything.
Yeah,
It's like,
dude, exactly. Yeah, that's the perfect example of it because like the thing is like, when I say like I like storytelling, it's like storytelling is like can be taken at face value. Like, yes, this is like a script or like this is like, words that you're listening to and it's telling a story or whatever. But like in all reality, like storytelling can be anything. Like it could be visual. Like you literally pointed out exactly like the thing I was going to talk about is that scooter. That scooter with like the plants growing out of it, like that was hilarious to me. I was like, dude, this guy didn't even know the scooter's like been back there, like where weeds are growing out of the wheels. Like that's hilarious to me. Like the dude never cleaned his house. And
yeah,
the broken
bro.
glass, like it's just like it's such a like gritty environment, but in all reality, it shows that like these dudes like don't care about anything but their music. Like that's literally like if it doesn't affect the sound that they're recording, then why would they care? Like that to me is that's amazing to me. So
And
like
just
pulling
just
those little
side
things, yeah.
note, they're good people. We're not nothing
No,
negative.
they're
It's
great.
just
No, no,
the
no, no, no. They're awesome. Yeah.
prioritizing of cleanliness. They actually say that like it's something about intelligence that like, like like it doesn't even
You're
matter if it's
focused.
dirty
You're
around
so
them. It's
focused,
like
dude.
who
Yeah.
gives a shit? They don't let it interfere, like but
They're very focused.
it's
That's like
laser.
what the main thing is. Yeah.
Yeah, but just so you know, dude, I don't know if you've done this, but over to the right, it has a chat icon. Did you click that by chance and you can see what people are saying? Just to
Oh no,
throw
I
out
did
there,
not.
man, because
Oh,
there's
what's
a
up,
few
everybody?
yeah, there's a few things,
Oh,
that got said at one point. A lot of it is
my
hellos,
bad.
and hello to everybody, by the way, that said what's up and all that good stuff. Hopefully someone said buffering. Hopefully it's not buffering anymore. I know before we started, it just seems like the internet fucking, wants
Yeah,
to
let
be
us know
acting
if
up
we're
and shit.
good. Yeah, because
Yeah,
let us know if we're all
if it
right.
sounds like shit, say something, man. If I got a booger on my nose, tell me. Be that kind of person for us. We need that kind of
Nah, dude,
person. Be on
just rock it,
BP
bro.
at all times. So, but what I
Hey, what's
wanted
up,
to point
Marianne?
out,
How you doing?
but what I wanted to point out though, man. Oh, what's up, Marianne? But it's a little bit laggy, so maybe we'll talk slower. But I thought Nikki Moore had said something probably worth mentioning. She said the moving to LA would be scary for me. So much competition.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Okay.
what is the percentage of people making it? And then kudos to the brave ones. I was gonna say, what is if somebody, and I also wanted to get into this. Another reason I brought the music videos because I see it as being a very accessible thing. Like it's almost people are constantly planning things, so there's always going to be a need for pots and dirt. You know what I'm saying? So you could sell a lot of pots and dirt if people are always planting things.
It's
And if
true.
you're
Yeah.
breaking into an industry, you want to find utility in what you're doing, and you want to find like a high likelihood of people needing you. So there's not a lack of musicians out there that want a high quality music video done. And a lot of them don't have a lot of money. So if you are down to put in the work for, like, it could be a week, I don't know, but find an artist that needs a video done that has like a couple $100, it's worth your time and your energy to get that in, especially if you're just starting, because you're going to develop a cool style and it might be a little bit unorthodox, but then you'll get good enough to realize where you're fucking up. And then you'll start to really get motivated to do research and learn and maybe look up things and like find mentors to help you along the way. But I think music videos and doing music myself in the past, it always seemed like the people that did the music videos, the great ones, within a few years were doing other things, you know. And I think even like people that did MTV videos, it's like crazy to hear some people that did MTV music videos back in the day, but
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
so many great people get their starts there, and it's just a great launching pad for anybody, you know. It's
Yeah.
like
It's true.
you
No, go for it. We have one.
oh no, I mean, but I was just saying, I thought that's why I was talking about music videos and whatnot. But back to what you were saying, what is your advice to somebody that maybe is coming here and they want to shoot music videos, or they want it, and that's why I brought it up. They want to shoot music videos, maybe, or they want to do like a documentaries. I guess making it big is always a subjective thing, but somebody that wants to come out here and basically be able to monetize their passion and live off of it, you know, I guess would be the goal, right?
Yeah.
So
Obviously. Yeah. So
what would you recommend to somebody? Like, what would you say if someone called you right now? Hey, dude, I'm thinking about doing exactly what you did. What do you
well, there's a
recommend?
lot of different angles you could take with that. Like, I think it all sort of boils down to just doing it. Like, it's one of those things where it kind of sucks because you do have to sort of accept that you will have to do things like kind of like prioritizing the actual like creation of this art rather than like monetizing it, to be, sort of frank about it, unfortunately. But the thing is, though, is like, as you start doing it and learning sort of like how to sort of make what you're doing special and unique and all that, like you'll find people along the way and those people sort of hook you up. Like, because like to me it's like I'm always freelance. Like, I've never been full-time at a studio or whatever. Like, I've always freelanced for my entire career. And that has its own challenges, but like in all reality, like it's just comes from like just people knowing you. And over time those people will start to like know what your strengths are and like know what you like to do, and they'll start recommending you to things. Like, because in all reality, like it's a spider web out here. Like, there's I mean, it's like an entire city with an industry that's like focused on it. So like there's so much stuff out here. Like, there is a lot of competition, like there's no doubt, but like it's not the same kind of competition as you might imagine from a distance. Like, it's not like, cutthroat. Like, you know what I mean? Like, people aren't competing with you necessarily, like directly. Like, you might be like, there might be times where you're competing for a certain job, but like in all reality, there's so much stuff out here. Like, you can find your way, like if you just put in the time. And I've been told this, like from the very start, from when I moved out here, I was told it's not the people that fail that don't make it, it's the people that give up that don't make it. It's like when you just don't try anymore and you just leave and basically like give up your drive or whatever. That's the only real failure, because you can't like, there's nothing really you can do to like fully fail in this job. Like, you can have a bad job, like you can do something that might not be good and they don't like your product or whatever, and that happens. But it doesn't kill you. Like, it doesn't. Whoa, did my mic get knocked out? No, I'm good. I just hit a thing. But
You're
no, it
solid, bro.
I'm good. All right, cool. But no, so it doesn't ever kill you off. So like, you just gotta like be okay with like making mistakes along the way and just learning. Because I mean, I consider myself an old head in this industry now, because I've been around for so long at this point. But like, I'm still learning. Like, there's still like things you learn along the way. You know what I mean? Like, you're never set. You just gotta be okay with like still being able to learn. But yeah, no. So if you're trying to make
So
a career out of this, just start doing it. Like, just start like get like borrow a camera and start filming, or even your phone. Like, phones now are incredible. Like, you can shoot on phones and it's decent. You know what I mean? Like, there's no like real thing that's holding you back. And there's like software like DaVinci Resolve is free. Like, that's free. And that's what I make my all my jobs on. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's a free software. So like, there's resources now.
so let me ask. The guy calls, he's like, dude, I'm going to LA, you know. All I got is a phone. I got the iPhone 45, whatever the fuck the newest one is. It has like the latest technology. I got DaVinci for free.
Hmm.
He's taken that advice. Where's he? And he has a spot to stay for 1 week. You know, he has a spot 1 week. Maybe it turns into two. I don't know. Where's the first spot? He's moving to LA. Where does he go first? What would you recommend? I know it's kind of a weird question,
You mean
but if you were
as
to
like
come to, if you were
residence?
it, now just in general, like where is somewhere that you would recommend them going? It's an odd question, but he's going there to make a video of some sort, or her, whoever is doing this. Is there a place that you would recommend that maybe draws inspiration? Is there like anything like that, or like how
Um,
would you make that first connection, get that first job? You know, I think
I
that's
mean, in
important
all
because
honesty,
because
like
here it says Nikki Moore, the person that asked it said, so making connections is key. You know, I think
it
that's
is.
with anything, right? You know, you only could turn on a light if it's connected to something, right? But so like
It's
where
true.
would
Yeah.
you start in the connection process? I guess is my
I mean,
ultimate
here's the thing. Like,
question here.
I mean, again, this could take different routes. I mean, it's like different routes for sure. Like some people say that if you become a PA, like a production assistant, and like jump on whatever thing you can jump on, and then just sort of like in the meantime of like downtime on set, you tell people like, oh, by the way, I like to, I like to shoot, or oh, I like to edit, or whatever, and they're like, oh, cool, whatever, some of your stuff. Like that can happen. Like I've had so many times where I tell people I do color on set that I'm doing something else on. They're like, you do color? Send me your stuff later, and then I'll send them, and then I'll get a big job from it. Like it just happens from just random conversations around like on set. So you could take like things like PA jobs. That's easy. That's always in demand. Obviously, that's very low paid. So be careful. That
Are
could
there
be also very
positions that
stressful.
it's like there's no respect involved really though? You know, like are there any kind of positions that people should understand if you get these positions? It's just like you get coffee and shit, you know, like
That's I
you
mean
just
that's
do
like a
this.
being a runner. I mean that's like being a runner or a PA or something like that. That
So
that
these would
always
be
sort of
like
falls
on
under
a
that.
set. So for people I'm not even familiar. So these would be like the assistants on set. But
Yeah,
they're
like
in
the
the
people
movie, they're
setting up the
in
crafty
this.
table, like all the snacks and stuff like that, or like people who are
So
like
that's a great
picking
place
up
to
stuff.
make connections.
It's very low risk for like people on set. Like they don't need to like roll the dice if you can operate a big cinema camera or something like that. Because that was the thing I faced. Like when I started working out here, like I wanted to get jobs as a director of photography, like operating cameras and stuff like that. And they were like, "We're not going to let you operate the red camera. We don't know who you are. Like, you know what I mean? We're not going to risk that." So So here's how I did it. So my route that I took was behind the scenes. So I did a lot of BTS stuff. So basically, what I did was I took that same camera that I got when I was back home and shooting all those little music videos, and I would offer BTS. So this, what it allowed me to do was, you kind of become a fly on the wall, like on set. Like there's like, oh, cool, BTS guy is here, or BTS girl, or whatever. Like, oh, they're here, cool. There's no worry about you screwing the production up unless you like step in the frame when they're shooting or something like that. But you have the chance now to shoot your own thing and then create an edit and then like show them like, hey, I made this thing. And this is actually what happened to me. I would do these like BTS things for music videos and other things. And, even like people like we know, like Michael Gallagher, like, when he was doing his movie, he hired me on to do BTS. So I would shoot BTS and I would create these like edits because again, like you're on your own, like you're shooting your own thing and nobody's bothering you. Like you're not following the orders of anybody. So you're just kind of running around with your own camera and then you're shooting all these things, and then like you have the chance to create this edit, and then the director of the film or whatever sees it and they're like, wow, this is great. I didn't expect this is really cool, so that's literally how I got some of the places when I first started. Was I would just create these BTS edits, and people are like shocked that I was able to make like what kind of looked like a documentary film. And that was really a great opportunity. And I see a lot of people doing this, but they don't really create an edit out of it. So it's like it's really like it's up to you to create something. Like, at this stage, if you're starting out, it's like really up to you to make the decisions on like how far you want to take it. Like, oh, I want to be a director, so like use that chance to be a director. Or if you want to be an editor, use the chance to edit. Like use these chances to like slice in what you want to do, and then that'll start getting you out there as somebody who can do that. So in the future, you keep those skills too. That's what's great about it. Like, that's kind of why I recommend alternatives besides being a PA. Like being a PA is always great. Like I can't do anything on set without PAs. Like they're integral. But at the same time, like that, if you're thinking about it from your own journey, it is kind of just one of those like delivery jobs to like get you in somewhere. Like, again, you could take that route if you want, but I personally recommend finding alternatives like that, like where you can like offer things that'll integrate your passion,
I,
like
I
what you actually
think
like.
And I think that's good advice for like any industry,
Yeah.
like even, like right now, in the cannabis industry, people ask, "Oh, how do I get into it?" It's like just be a bud tender somewhere, dude. Because you're gonna meet so many people, you're gonna have so much knowledge thrown your way. But the other thing about connections and like what Nikki Moore saying, having connections, the
Hmm.
connection you make today, the value within that connection is going to change exponentially over time. Like some of the most successful people that I currently could say I know were not that successful when I met them,
Right.
and
Yeah.
connections is really the base of it is relationship building. So even if you're just the PA on a set, it's about offering value. And no matter what situation you're in, if you want to make good connections and you want to network, just in ways show people the value that you offer. Like what you did is a very creative way of doing something. You're shooting BTS, you have the ability to edit and do all of these things, and you showed somebody with the ability to put you in a position, possibly some work that you had done, and you did it in a way that didn't feel abrasive. It didn't feel like a pitch. It didn't feel nothing like that. It was like you were sharing something you created with them, and it's like people should do shit like that more often. I don't,
Yeah.
that's a very great angle to take, like, and if you're just
Yeah,
coming out
for
here
sure.
to LA, you could almost just find a music video getting shot, and just maybe you could even do that, shoot the BTS, like, or just talk to somebody. It doesn't matter who you talk to. You never know who you're going to introduce yourself to first, and just see if there's any kind of value you could add. As long as you're not killing the vibe, people are generally open to having you be around. It's just once you're around, try to find ways to add value to situations so people want you around more. It's like
Yeah,
that's why people
exactly. Yeah.
want you around more, because you add to the productivity, not just because
Hmm.
you're funny or because you say fun shit. It's like, having a PA around adds value because they take task away and they add the ability, whatever the case is, to focus on other shit. But
Yeah,
that
I
would
mean,
be, I think, that's probably the best advice to Nikki Moore right there, because it sounds like, or to anybody coming to LA, just get your foot in the door somewhere,
yeah, and the
add
last the
value.
last thing I'll say with this is, something to keep in mind just in general, especially when you're just now getting into film, um, is it's a collaborative art, like it just always will be. It's always, you can never, like, I'm saying things like, to get started, like you do your own thing and you do your own edit and all that, but like in reality, when you get into it, like it's a collaborative art. So whatever you could do to like help a team or like help them make their jobs easier and like add something to it, like without being too intrusive, like it goes a long way, because like that's like the thing is, like, you'll discover is like when you actually, like, if you have staying power, like people will see you as like, oh, this person's great because they know how to add this to our process, or like they know how to take this off our shoulders, and oh, they can, because like at the end of the day, like, again, it's all about collaboration, and that's what I love about this business, is like it's just like music, like it literally is a collaborative art, like, and that's, so just keep that in mind, like that's where people will really like see you as like a main thing to keep around, is like, okay, this person gets it, like, you know what I mean. But anyways,
Yeah, dude, I like it, bro. I like it. BTS, make a documentary about it, make a music video.
make them look good, make everybody look good.
Show people cool shit, man, and then want to see more, basically.
Yeah, that's what it's all
So
about.
a few things I just want to touch on a little bit, because I thought there was some fun dichotomy here.
Hmm.
So you mentioned Prince EA earlier, who
Yep.
also, I'm not like best buds with the guy or nothing, but I'm familiar enough, and I've met him and hung out a few times. So you guys were filming videos, and long story short, they're getting like hundreds and hundreds of millions of views, dude. Right? Like, do
Yep.
you know and the premise of these videos, which it seems like is kind of a cyclical thing. Like every so often someone big pops up and it like starts a trend, and like guru type people. Is that what you would kind of say? Or people that want to spread a positive message in a
Yeah.
motivational way and like keep it real and like things of that nature? Not guru, that might sound a little
No, no, no.
different, but
You're
they're
on
very
point. Yeah, yeah.
positive, meaningful videos. You know what I mean? And like eye opening and like about racism and shit like this, right?
Yeah, so basically, for those who don't know, Prince EA is a big artist on YouTube. He's a big creator. He also is really big on other social platforms, but he's I would call him I wouldn't call him a motivational speaker, but I would call him like just a positive spoken word poet, I guess you would call him. Like He was a rapper. I think he kind of still is. I don't speak to that because that's his own thing. But he was a rapper
He's
for
an
a long
artist,
time. He's an
nonetheless.
artist. There you
He's
go.
an
Yeah, there you go.
artist. There
He's
you
an
go.
artist. Yeah. So I met him when he was a rapper, and I was really into his stuff. Same thing with like how we met Wax. Same exact thing. I was like, wow, this guy's incredible. This guy's an amazing lyricist. And I found out he's from my hometown. So I was like, huh, well, that's interesting. So I hit him up and I was like, you still in St. Louis? And he's like, yeah. I was like, oh, I was like, we're gonna link then. So we linked up and shot some stuff with him, and so we became fast friends. And anyways, so years later, and he's successful as an artist. Like he got in like Vibe magazine. He got on like different radars for rappers and stuff. Like he was successful, but he right when the Ferguson stuff happened in St. Louis back in the day, the Mike Brown incident, the Mike Brown stuff. Basically, he created a video which was like spoken word poetry. Like it was like this really heavy, no music in the background. It was just a really heavy piece, and it was great. It was one of those pieces that I saw, and I was just like, wow, dude, that was powerful. Like that was incredible. And so he put it out. And it just like lit on fire. Like I didn't have anything to do with that video, but like he did it with a friend of ours, and that thing just went everywhere. Like that thing went so viral, and he realized that this might be a good format, and so he started doing like spoken word stuff. And I started working with him on some of those early videos, and so we did the Can You Autocorrect Humanity, which was like that thing went insane. Like that thing went so viral. I didn't know how big this thing was going to get, but it went huge. Like it was everywhere. We went on Queen Latifah, like we went on all these shows, and it was amazing. Like it was
Wasn't he
cool.
mentioned or something by Oprah at one point,
Yes.
or like
So yeah. So Oprah
or
actually
something like
put him
that?
on. Yeah. So Oprah put him on her like Super Soul Sunday. One of our videos went on there, and she actually did an intro, which was surreal because like she was talking about my video, and I was just like, "What is happening here?" That was really crazy. But yeah, so like he had like all these videos we were doing were like getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and they're all sort of centralized around like a positive message. Um, really creative poetry to like get there. It's like spoken word in a way. So it's like kind of like rap without like, the beat or the rhythm or whatever. It was like more just direct poetry. And we put really creative visuals to it. We had a really, good handle on how to create this genre. And we had a lot of like motion graphics with like text and animation and stuff like that. And it sort of created a genre in a way. Like a lot of people like, dude, like H3H3 spoofed us. Like it created like tons of imitators. Like I saw somebody in like Iceland like making fun of us in a way, like creating like a shot for shot remake of one of our videos, and I was just like, this is nuts. So it's
I
like it
mean,
created a
dude,
genre.
I
It was
think
crazy. Yeah, that
like
was crazy.
just to like prove like how big of a genre it is, I think, let me just look up something real fast here.
Yeah,
And
but
then
then to
so
speak
the
about
other thing is,
the
go ahead.
oh, I was just saying,
What are you saying? I'm
just
sorry.
to, by the way, just to speak on the view count, just because you mentioned this, yeah, like I think our most viewed video, like in like 2015, even was like 560 million views or something like that. It was like total, like with all the platforms. It was like mind blowing. Like I couldn't believe that those numbers were coming in like that. I was like, this is nuts. So it would like be a worldwide thing. Like it was appealing to like the worldwide market, which was what helped grow those view counts. Because like at first, like when he was a rapper, he was really only like you know popular here in the States. But then like when we started doing those like spoken word things that like had more of a now I don't want to say political angle, but like kind of political. They
I
started
would
going
say a
worldwide.
human angle, they had a human angle
Perfect.
to them.
Human
There
angle.
you
There you
go.
go. Yeah, perfect.
But and then there was also, as I'm pulling this up, there was also wasn't like Eminem or something? Wasn't there
Oh, dude,
some moment with Eminem? I remember like there was a
I
music
got
video
dissed
you
by
guys
Eminem. Yeah,
did.
I got dissed
Dude,
by
you
Eminem.
so
That was not.
you've been bigged up by Oprah. You and the team got bigged up by Oprah and dissed
Yeah,
by Eminem, bro.
I
That's
I
pretty
know
major,
it.
bro.
I mean, I've made it. I mean, that's all I need now. Like I can retire. But no, it's
And you
funny
know
though. That
what,
was a
dude?
different
Can
thing. That was a different thing. But that is really funny you mentioned that. Yeah. So to tell that quick story, so the person that created all these Prince EA videos with me was this other creative, this guy named Spencer Sharp, and great creative dude. He's also a rapper, but very 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 talented guy. And so we saw the Eminem video that came out that was like him dissing Donald Trump like in that parking lot. I don't know if you remember that, but like he was just like It was like no beat. He was
It
just like
was
standing
corny a
there.
little bit,
It was
bro.
super. It was corny. I mean,
I love
fucking.
Eminem. He's a goat, but that was a little bit
But
of a
that was
corny
corny.
move,
I
in my
mean,
opinion.
it was like that time when America just had this like very polarizing view on the president. But anyway, so he created that. Eminem released that video like Donald Trump diss or whatever. And so my friend Spencer was like, "Oh, you know what? I'm gonna do a video spoofing Eminem." So we like filmed a quick video of like kind of a spoof of that. And Princier was in it as a background actor. Like he wasn't even in the video. He was just like a background guy, which was funny to think about. Uh, but there's a part where like I'm holding cue cards, like it's like a little gag, like an on-screen gag where he goes like, "What was I gonna say? I forgot." And he like looks forward, and then you see me like with the camera next to me, and I drop like the cue card or whatever, and then like that was just like my little cameo. But Eminem responded to the video and was just like, "Hold up like a flashcard. Is that pay? Is that hating or paying homage or something like that?" And like I was like, "Oh my god!" He pointed me out, like because like it was verified by Eminem that that was a diss to Spencer. And I was
Dude,
just like,
I'm surprised you never clapped back at this fool, bro.
dude, how could
He's
you?
only Eminem.
I was like, how could you, dude? Like, I was like, dude, I don't even want to. I
You
just
know,
want to say
dude,
thank you.
you probably, bro, you probably didn't clap back at Eminem because you didn't have faith in your lyrical prowess. But let me tell you something, bro.
How
Let me
can
just
you,
tell you
dude?
something real quick.
You're going
Let
up
me just tell
against
you
the
something
goat.
real
I
quick.
can't.
Joe, the world is an ever evolving place full of creatures and water and air and clouds. Rapping isn't something you should be afraid of, Joe. Rapping is something that's in all of us. You can do it if you want. Eat your fruits and vegetables. Exercise 3 times a week. But basically, that was the genre, right? It's like, dude, if you put that piano music behind something, it makes it so powerful, bro.
It's super
You know what
powerful,
I'm
dude.
saying? Like,
Yeah. I mean,
I
shit,
don't
dude. I
remember.
can, you know.
I don't remember people using background music in such a like emotion gouging like way before that. You know, like even now, all these videos had this crazy fucking EDM drop beats in it to make the littlest, stupidest thing look super entertaining. You know what I mean? But
It's a
nah,
strategy.
dude, I
Yeah.
think you guys kind of started the like motivational musical, thing, man.
Yeah, it
A
became
lot.
it kind of went off in a different direction, you know, because
It did a little bit.
there's like people like Darman now and Jay Shetty and things like that. And actually Jay's somebody I kind of know. He's a great dude. But yeah, there's like a lot of people in the space that kind of like do that, like not I don't want to say like feel goody, but like, you know, positive message at the end, like teaching a lesson, stuff like that. And that's kind of like where they you know, that's like kind of like where their genre is now. But you know, I mean Prince CA still creates stuff like that, but you know, I mean, I think like at the end of the day, I mean, you know, he's always trying to do whatever he feels is, you know, his what he could put his creative on. You know, he doesn't like want to just follow something just to do it. Like he switches it up whenever he needs to. But anyways,
Jamie just said, "Shout out to the chat, dude." You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the
I'll
chat.
go back to the replay. Yeah, yeah, it's a good one.
I don't know. I just zoned out. Right on.
I'll post the disc to my story. If you follow my
That's
my
funny.
handle on Instagram, I'll post the disc to the story. Anyway.
Is it because our voices are so soothing, Jamie?
Yeah, I know. Trust me, I'm half asleep. Trust me, I get
Dude,
it.
I remember me and Sandy when like she lived in Georgia for a period of time. I knew her long before that, but when we actually officially started dating and stuff, and we would talk like every night. You don't live near each other and shit. You don't see each other very often. And I would talk for like 5 minutes, and she'd already be asleep, bro. You know what I mean? So I'm used to it. I know
You
I
have a
put people
soothing
to
voice,
sleep.
dude. I mean, I feel
I have a
soothed
voice for
already, bro. I
I
don't
have a
get
face
stressed
and a
around
voice
you,
for
man.
radio. Ah, dude. But I'm sorry, Jamie. I didn't mean to make. Oh, she's doing pictures of plants. So right on, Jamie. I think I caught the. I think I'm catching what you're dropping there. Weed, something maybe involved. I don't know, but that'll make you do it. So talking
Eating
about
plants.
Prince
Yep.
EA,
Oh,
Eminem,
yeah.
we got Oprah, we got all that dichotomy. We got you starting that genre, man. That did kind of go in a weird way, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
A
I
couple
mean,
people
I
took it in
kind
a
of got
weird direction,
pigeonholed.
but that's how you know that something is like impactful. It's like auto tune,
Yeah,
like fucking. It was T-Pain only at one point, and this guy was the fucking goat. And then like everybody started using it almost as a cheat code. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Instead of saying the most powerful shit, which I'm nothing against Prince. I think Prince is. I actually think lyrically he's probably up there with Wax, and on a just
Yeah,
a
he's a
positive
genius.
level, he's a
Yeah, yeah,
great
he
dude. Yeah,
really is.
he's an
Yeah.
awesome dude. I think he wrote a song about the human brain that they would play in like science classes.
Dude.
You know,
Yeah,
like
that's
how
I
much
remember
fucking
that.
more
Yeah.
talented can you be? How many rappers have a song about a brain that is
Yeah, it's
so accurate and factual and like scientifical or whatever the fucking word would be? I don't even know the word.
I
And
mean, like, dude,
they would play
he
it
was
in
so
class for you to study. You know,
yeah, he was so smart. And like
that's nuts.
he's still I mean, that's like the thing. Like his original brand was make smart cool. Like that was like his original thing. Like that was
Dude,
like
I
before
did
he
a
got into
cipher
like
for it. He
yeah,
never
you
did it
did. That's
back.
right. Yeah.
He never
I
did it
remember
back,
that.
bro.
I know.
But
Busy
yeah,
guy.
I think there was a couple of ciphers I think that I think, well, no, I think the Make Smart Cool one I kind of started and then I passed it on to somebody. But there was another cipher, a matter of fact, I believe it's the one that I did on the toilet, one of the earlier videos that we did.
I
And for
remember that.
anybody that's in
Yeah.
here that came over from IG or follows me at
I
Let's
was at
Mind
still,
Travel,
yeah.
you know, at Let's Mind. That's dope, bro. You're all smart, dude. You got your at in front of the name on the fucking on the microphone, and I don't, but that's
You
all
know.
good. But so the whole concept was it was a cipher, and he was supposed to call me out because he had gotten called out by somebody. So
And
I
he didn't
filmed
release
this,
it. I remember this. Yeah.
and I filmed this like dude. It
I
was
forgot
literally,
about that. Yeah, yeah.
and in my opinion, bro, some of the dopest just freestyle type fucking bars I've heard. I had one line. I want to put MC. I'm gonna put MCs inside my kicks like a pair of socks.
It's
That's
great.
fucking.
It's
That's
really
great, bro.
good,
That's
dude.
like,
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
or like, there was a lot of them. I'll fucking link it, or I probably won't. Just go find it. You know, Upward Cipher, and it'll come up. But
Upwards,
so
yeah.
he was supposed to do it, and he never called me out. But the person I called out was Paz, who's an amazing rapper, and he fucking killed it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But I think I hung out with him, and he told me he was trying to make it into like a Who Killed Hip Hop fucking like
Dude,
five
I
part.
worked on that. I worked on it. Like okay, you have to understand, like I will fill you in on this now
That shit
because
was
you didn't hear
crazy,
the other end of
bro.
this.
When
So
he
you
was
didn't
telling
hear
us
the other
about
end of
it.
this story. So you were like, okay, so for those in the chat that don't know this, like a hip hop cipher is like just sort of a pass the mic type of thing, like where like one person starts it and then the next person who they call out takes it and does their own spin on it, and then it's the same beat basically, and you just keep passing the mic, and then like you have like a big playlist of videos. I mean, you could do this on stage too, obviously that's where it comes from, but like in the YouTube space, you'd record a video and then you pass it to somebody and they would record a video, and then anyways. So basically what he's saying is like Princier was part of this big cipher, this big hip hop cipher, and Princier told Jared that like he was like, hey, I'm gonna call you out, so get your thing ready. So we recorded our own thing, and then
And not to say
he
it was the most elaborate thing ever. However, it was
so
fucking genius. The premise
so
was great. It was
yeah.
awesome.
So yours was really good, but it was simple. You were just sitting on the toilet, and that was the whole concept. It was really easy. But Princier, I went back home. I flew back home, and I was like, he was like, hey, can you help me shoot my version of the cipher? And I was like, wait, you haven't shot this yet? So I was like, all right. So I went. He literally went to an abandoned house in his neighborhood because he lived in the hood in St. Louis. Like he lived in a really bad part of North St. Louis, and he just went to like one of the abandoned houses in his neighborhood, and he just like built this crazy set. Like he had like it took him like weeks to build this set, and he had this whole plan to like make this giant video, and I don't, dude, this is going to take a long time to make, bro. Like, I don't know. So we didn't have time to make it because he had all these like big ideas. So I was like, I can't do it. So I went back home, and I was like expecting him to get it done like in a few weeks, but he never did. But he eventually did get it done next year. So the year after it, he released it. But it was a great video. But
It
yeah,
was, but
it was
it was
so
supposed to be
ambitious.
a cipher
It
video.
was so ambitious. It was crazy. I love that video, but it was so ambitious. Yeah, that guy, he was always trying to go like 10 levels above what he was at currently. Like he always just does that. I mean, that's part of his strengths, but yeah, I mean, I was like, oh my God, this is this is a huge production, dude.
It would have been still dope if the video ended with like, and I call out upwards. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, but
know,
he took it all, obviously he
in the
took it all out.
credits. I don't know. It don't matter. But no, dude, I think that was a funny fucking time though. I was waiting on it, bro, and I kept thinking it was coming out and all this shit. But that video he ended up making was very dope. So on to more, man. Let's get into, because we try to do these like an hour 15 minutes or so.
Mhm.
I want to get into comedy, dude, because we could talk about music fucking forever, bro. Like we'll have to
Forever.
do this
Exactly.
again,
Yeah.
and we'll talk. Maybe we'll get fucking P Diddy or something in the stream, or who knows, dude.
I used to work for
With
him.
with,
I used to work for him.
with the connections between us, bro, 50 Cent might be watching. He might think, dude, I wish they would ask me on. So I'm sorry, 50. You're welcome
Sorry,
on
dude.
anytime. Hit me up. It's the same number that you've had forever. Fucking hit me up anytime.
Shoot him a
But
text though, because he doesn't like answering calls.
he don't like text, bro. It's weird.
Mm.
Not from me. You know what I mean? He likes to hear my voice, dude.
Send him that
50's
old
weird. 50's weird.
Motorola walkie-talkie
Chirp.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, the chirp.
I'll
Yeah, the
chirp
chirp.
50, dude. I'll chirp 50 for the next one. But so music's dope. Like because we also you film music videos for me. You even
Yep.
did behind the scenes of a music video for
Oh
me at one
yeah,
point.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
fucking and then comedy was another genre that I was actually looking it up. And I'm curious as to what you will say the answer to this question is because I had a hard time remembering, as I do most things that happened 15, 12, whatever, how many years ago.
It's been a
But
while.
we known each other a cool minute. Do you
Mhm.
remember the first thing that we actually filmed together?
Yeah, I do. It was in my alleyway. It was that like little verse you wrote about how money is the root of all evil or something like that.
Damn it, dude, you got it, bro.
I
I
remember
was
this. Yeah, I
sure.
remember that. Yeah.
I was sure it was the Reason music video.
No, that was
And then
later, but
I
that was the first big thing we did. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I was because I thought that's the video I wanted to shoot. And then I thought, "Oh, I looked up did we do Dudes Doing Dudes together
Oh my
with
god, we
Tony?"
did. Yeah, with
I
Tony.
think
Yeah,
that was
that
like
was
4 days after
dude. That
because
was
I thought, "Oh,
so
that was
quick.
the
Yeah.
first one." So that was the first one. And
Are
then
you
I kept
sure?
looking. I know, and then I kept looking at the
Okay.
other
Yeah.
channel, Upwards TV, and I saw that Root of All Evil was like 4 days before. I was like, "Damn, I was
That
off."
was like the
You
second
know?
day I
And
moved
then I was
in.
wrong
Like that was
twice.
like yeah. Well,
Yeah, I think I
but
came over and we just went out to your fucking went out to your
like right out in the
alley,
alleyway.
bro.
Yeah.
We made it happen.
Hmm.
But so music, we'll do that another time. But let's get
That's
into
fine.
the comedy, man, because recently the project that we did together with Easy Lou Jones, basically the way that came about is we wanted to film the process and document a day in the life of a musician who's working on a project at the moment. And
Hmm.
originally, I think to me, man, maybe you went into it differently, but it just felt like we hung out for 2 days and got a bunch of footage. You know what I'm saying? And like there was structure to it, but like we were talking about earlier, you shoot a lot of stuff, and
Yeah.
the way it's edited, like that was a project where I would say until maybe even the second editing session, I didn't see like a clear, definitive like path for it to where I thought it was going to ultimately end. But that was a fucking amazing video, dude. It turned out
Thank
fucking
you.
rad.
Yeah.
Just
No.
just
Thank
because
you.
I do want to mention that, and that's something that we just did, recently.
Hmm.
Is there like anything you want to share about that video, or like anything that you like to fucking talk about in regards to that
Yeah, I mean, we'll
that
keep it
stands
brief if we're
out?
trying to stay in our time limit here. But like, yeah, basically that was a great video. I mean, I appreciate all the kind words you said. I heard all that. Yeah, thank you very much on the last podcast. But thank you. Yeah, no, dude, it was a blast. I mean, like that. At the end of the day, I mean, like whatever we can do to hang out, I'm down. If you're like, hey, let's make a project, I'm like, all right, we'll figure it out. but um, but yeah, I mean, it's like one of those things where you just had this like random idea. I think you said like you wanted to like create a series about people who had big dreams and they wanted to like try to like make it in something, like make it in their industry, and we wanted to like kind of follow them as they're in that process. And I was like, that's a great idea, dude. I was like, that's a really easy idea. Because the one we worked on previously was that flat earth doc. We could talk about that later too if you want, but basically this one was like a lot easier to like wrap your head around. You're like, okay, this is just like people who are like creative. So I was like, all right, this is probably pretty easy. But yeah, I mean, I didn't know. I didn't know your friend Easy Jones. I didn't know him beforehand. I didn't even know his music, and I was like, okay, well, he's a musician. Like I work with musicians all the time. Like I'll figure it out. But you were like you wanted to get his backstory. You wanted to get him like recording stuff at a studio, and then that was like maybe like driving around the valley, and that was like really it. So I was like, all right. So we shot exactly that. Like we got his like backstory in his apartment. We like filmed him showing us some of his music, his like some of his day to day. We filmed his band, him recording for the day, like laying down scratch tracks at a studio, and then like the next day we were like, oh, that was great. Let's get some like stuff around the valley because he's from the valley. You came up with the idea to like be like, oh, he should like drive around and tell us stories about where he came from and like his past and all that. And I was like, cool. So we did that, and then that was pretty much it. Like that was really all we shot, and yeah, it took a while to like get an edit together that actually was like, um, you know, oh, see you later, Jamie. Thank you for chiming in.
Night
So
night.
good night. So anyway,
Gang,
so like
gang, go sleep. You gotta give someone a nice chuckle before they go to sleep, bro. You gotta go to sleep with a smile on your face.
it's the best way to go to sleep, literally.
Night, night.
So anyway, so we started editing, and edits in general, unless you have like a very like you know a very like concise plan on how to put it together, like it takes a while. Like you got to put all your footage on a timeline, you got to like look through stuff and like listen to what you got and like write some stuff down, maybe like take things and like lift them up and like kind of like be like, well, maybe this will work. So it takes a while to like get that to a point where like you have like a concise like act one. But I knew like I had those two post-it notes like right in front of my desk, and I had like act one, act two, act three, act four, and then had like little notes like backstory, studio, valley backstory, like just like little tiny like cues to be like, oh, this is kind of like the rough structure. And then you were just kind of hanging out with me. We're eating donuts and going to get Mexican food and kind of hanging out, and it was casual. But then eventually like you started to see like where I was putting things together, and you're like, oh, this is actually something, like and I knew it was going to be something, but you never know what it is until you get there. You know what I mean?
That's kind of the exciting part to me, man. Is like, because along the way there'll be just little moments that, for me, maybe the whole time you're seeing it, but like click into place, and like you start to see things for the way that they're happening. And I mean, so it was a very fun process, dude. As much as I like to be structured in life and know exactly what I'm doing, it's sometimes funner just to fucking be creative with it, dude, and let it ride,
Yeah, you just gotta trust it. You just gotta trust it.
Yeah, dude, that's the thing about developing style. Sometimes you got to go a little bit out the lines, figure out where you're riding at. So I always enjoy doing that kind of stuff, man. That's why I like freestyling and shit like that. It's just fun. But Nikki Moore, actually, I guess we could talk a little bit about the Flat Earth, dude, because we did that documentary. Because I mean, to a degree, it's funny. To a degree, it's funny,
dude. Crazy
dude.
story, yeah.
I mean, I actually got a. What the hell? I wonder why that's so loud. Is it?
You're good. I think it's like me.
Oh, maybe it's louder in my headphones. It's like plumbing or something else. But so I got a message though from Dan the Waterman, who I've had on. I think I've had him on the live before, and he's a very very interesting dude, and he's fun to talk to. But he told me, dude, that he has an experiment lined up for, like, I don't even remember, and I don't know if it's legal for me to be able to play a voicemail from him, but I just saw it like earlier today that he has definitive proof through this experiment, and he would love for somebody to go down there and document it and be like the counterpart, the person that's a little bit skeptical, that is like the other side, or someone who could be subjective, whatever the fucking word is. But dude, I'm still tied in, bro. I'm still in the Flat Earth fucking movement, bro. And it keeps reeling me back in, dude. Actually, when we put up the Easy Lou Jones video, there's a few people that went to the channel, and I think the main video at that time was the Flat Earth one. And I was getting messages like, oh, dude, I can't believe you believe the earth is flat. Like, what the hell's wrong with you? And I was like, come on, man, watch the video first, but like, I never really want to be associated with shit like that.
It's a risky, dude. It was a risky doc. I get it. Cause I even got people who are like, dude, please don't cover that. And I'm like, why? It's interesting. It's like, this is because here's the thing. I told you this, and I tell people this all the time. Like, look, to me, it's about the people, and it's about the story of the people to me. Cause like, I was like, dude, again, speaking freely here, like I was like, how does it get to the point where you're now believing that? Like, how do you get to that point? Like, that's why I was like, I'm fascinated by this. Cause like, I was like, how does somebody get to that point? Like, cause it's like, it's so out there and so crazy that like, you're like, what got you to this point? Like what level of distrust do you really have to like get you here? Cause like, this is so out there.
It's definitely a weird, like, because the way I got into it is the Joe Rogan podcast. Eddie Bravo is a very charismatic dude that just has a lot of he's like an Alex Jones type, you know. I don't think everything he's saying is wrong. I think there's a lot of things that are relevant and that people maybe don't want to believe as much as they think are, you know, they don't think are accurate. But they do say a lot of crazy conspiracy type things. And the earth being flat is one that this Eddie Bravo guy mentioned. And
Yeah.
he said something about airplanes and they are always tilted up. But if the earth was round, and I thought, you know, that's interesting. I never thought the earth is actually flat, but I thought that's like enough for me to at least be interested in researching like the people that believe the earth is flat and why did they believe it's flat. And along the way, there's compelling evidence you can call it if you want to believe the earth is flat. But I mean, the more you research and the more, I mean, hey, I've never seen it. I can prove to somebody right now if they ask me. But I think just with like shit, dude, eclipses and stuff, and like photos that you can see that don't seem faked out. And first off, I don't care what shape the earth is, but I definitely never believed 100% the earth was flat. But then I had talked to my brother about the earth being flat, and we ended up doing this fucking video, you know, or I
Yep.
did a video with him that got, it might be the most, and this ain't even a brag because I kind of wish it wasn't, you know, but like it might be the most viewed video with flat earth in the video. It's like 40 million views or something like that. And at the time we filmed our video, it was like 30 million views. So then I thought it would be really cool to highlight the flat earth people, you know, but in a way where it's not like, is the earth flat? It's let's document, because what you're saying with the interesting part is why do people believe these things? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and the idea was kind of, and this isn't an insult or this isn't meant to be like in a negative way, but the idea was to frame it almost like a cult. And there's this cult of people that have this belief and they stand by it. And it seems like they're very strong minded with it. And then there's these cult leaders, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that was kind of the, not like how we were going to put it out there, but that's the way that it was shot in a way because it just seemed interesting, you know what I mean? And the kind of things that you would see out there from people that believe the earth is flat and the kind of rhetoric that there was, people standing on street corners yelling at each other and shit like that, it seemed entertaining enough. So we did this video and we had a couple of people come out, but I just remember at one point, Mark Sargent was like the main dude that was in the video.
Yeah.
And he literally said he's like a recruiter or something like that.
Yeah, he said he's the recruiter. Yeah, that's what he said.
Yeah.
Like,
And then yeah, it's kind of off, but I'm kind of taking forever to get to the actual point I want to make, but the fun part about shooting that video beyond, because all these people are rad, you know, like I don't have nothing against none of the people. It's just
they were nice.
it's where
They
their
were
head,
very nice.
it's,
Yeah.
it's where their head's at, you know, like, hey, my head's, you know, all over the place too. Sometimes it's all good. As long as you believe in something that's making you a better person and people around you are stoked about it, you know, whatever. But
yeah.
so, but right when we got there, man, like because I was in this video and because people had this perception of me, they were really like testing me if I was a flat earther or not, you know,
Yeah, it was a
like
problem.
one of the
Yeah.
first interactions was a family, a dude that told me that he was in the closet and then or with the flat earth believing, and then once the
Yeah.
video with my brother came out, he shared it with his family and all of their family and all of their neighborhood, and they're all flat earthers now, and they were trying to ask me like fucking very scientific questions and shit about it, and all the thoughts that they thought that they would never get an answer for, I was supposed to have an answer for them.
Do you remember the call sign? Do you remember the call sign?
Oh yeah,
Remember
dude,
that?
like this thing. And then at one point, some guy asked me to be on a live stream, and it was like evidently a big dude, you know. I think his name is Jaron. It's very close to my name. I think it's Jaron. And he was on the other end of it, and they're, oh, dude, you got to get Jared on, whatever. And I was, oh, perfect, bro. And I said the word gravitate, and these motherfuckers like flipped on me, bro, because gravity doesn't exist. I was
Oh
like,
my
yeah,
God, I
man,
never heard
we're doing
that.
a
That's
docu. Yeah,
hysterical.
I think I said
Oh,
something like we're
no.
doing a documentary about how people have gravitated towards the flat Earth movement. And he's like, whoa, 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 bro, we don't say the G word. And I was like,
Oh my
what?
God, that's hysterical.
Like,
I never heard that. That's so funny.
yeah, but it was funny, bro. But every time
You
we were about
outed
to interview
yourself. That's
somebody,
hilarious.
but every time we were about to interview somebody, are you a flat earther? Are you a flat earther? But that video was so
scary.
fun.
It was scary. At times it was really scary, but I think like the end product, I was like, dude, this is actually like, it's a pretty good video because I think it accomplished what we wanted. Like, because I was like, you know, it's like we didn't want to make fun of anybody. That was like the big thing. Like that's what I told people as well. I was like, look, I didn't go into this to make fun of somebody directly. I don't want to like make them a laughing stock or a clown or whatever. Like I'm not trying to like spin something like a news network to like, you know, mix their words up to make them sound stupid. I don't do that. Like I let people just be them. But if you want to laugh, like you're gonna laugh because it's funny sometimes. Like there's some people that were like just naturally kind of funny, like they're just personalities. And you know, so I think that's kind of what it accomplished to me. I was like, look, we did a video about a very extreme subculture, and we didn't like stoop to like the easy lowball, you know, comedy.
And
You
that's
know,
what
we
a lot
found it
of them were
going deep.
worried about. That's what a lot
Yeah,
of them were worried about, brother. I'd never even heard the term hit piece. You know what I'm saying? And they were like,
yeah,
"Oh, you're trying to
yeah.
do a hit piece on us." And then one girl actually was
They have
very
like
concerned about
PTSD.
it.
Yeah, they have like
Yeah, one girl
PTSD from
was
it.
overly concerned about it, and then actually emailed me after the video came out and told me that we made her look like an idiot. And I was like,
I was
"Yeah, I
like,
mean, you
we
know,
didn't though. We didn't do
we
that at
just put
all.
your
It
part in."
wasn't. I know who you're talking about. Yeah, we were like,
I think she
we
said
really
she
didn't
realized the
though.
Earth. She realized the Earth was flat when she went
It
to
was
like a
Australia.
different
It was
country.
Australia. She thought she
Yeah,
said
I
she
was
was
gonna
like,
try
"Am I
to.
supposed to be upside down?" And we
And I
were
think
like,
that was her.
"Woo,
Dude, that's what
okay,
you said.
we got a weird one here."
And when people would say that, it's like, dude, only what you say is gonna get out there. If you say something stupid, I mean, it's gonna sound stupid, bro. But like, it is what it is. Like,
Yeah,
stupid to me and stupid to you are two different things. Some people are gonna relate heavily. Some people might laugh. I don't know. But the point is,
yeah,
we really just wanted to humanize the situation and bring a little bit of depth to it. And I think what we really did, man, is show that these are all like rad people, and it's just kind of what
yeah. And
they're
I mean, that's
into, and it's a
yeah.
subculture, and it's okay. It's nothing to. But I will say that since then, dude, like the interactions I've had with like the higher up and the flat earth people and all that, it seems like it's getting very political, bro. Like there's beefs within the people, you know what I mean?
It
Like
was
certain
bound to
people have
happen.
a be
It was
and I
bound to
think
happen.
one of the reasons is Mark Sargent was in a Netflix movie or something like that, dude.
Yeah, it
And
took from us, dude. Did you know that? Like, apparently the director saw our thing. I heard that.
wow, there you go.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
because
think
Mark
Logan
Sargent was
Paul
in it, and
even.
Mark Sargent talked about us. Apparently, again, I can't speak for the. I don't know if that's true, but like I heard that was true, and I was like, wow, dude, okay.
Well, yeah,
Because
dude. I think
we were
even
like a year before that came out, and then everybody started talking about it. I was like, we did this before, but okay.
yeah, and then even
Not
like
to start
Logan
beef with them. They did a good job, but anyways.
and then at one point Tom, why am I calling him Tom? Mark Sargent, which by the way is a very fucking rad dude, super
I like that guy
interesting,
a lot.
fun
He
to
was
talk
great,
to.
super
He's a
nice. Yeah,
nerd though, you know, like, and when I say nerd, I'm coming from a mature spot of knowing what a nerd is. It's someone that's highly intellectual, hyper focused on something, knows everything about it, very passionate. And I love being around people like that because you could have endless conversations if you're interested enough to know more about whatever they know about. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
But so he damn fucking where was it going? Oh, where was I even going with that, dude?
Could go a lot of different ways. You said you were talking about how Mark, the whole space got political because Mark was on a Netflix thing.
Oh, yeah. But I think it was him being on Netflix. Oh, that's what it was. So Mark Sargent reached out like maybe a month or so after we filmed the video with him, and he's like, dude, you got to come to Denver. We're having a flat earth conference in
Oh,
Denver. It's gonna be fucking huge, bro. Not he didn't say fucking huge, bro. In his own way, he said that to me,
it's
and
gonna
he
be
said,
flat.
and he said, I can't fucking guarantee this, you know, like we're fucking the earth, the sun's setting. Is that
Yeah.
no, I'm saying? But so I can't guarantee who it is yet. I have my suspicions, but there is an A-list celebrity coming out at this event as a flat
Mm-hmm.
earther. Because I'm not gonna say the name, but like while we filmed that video, they did mention a few people that seemed like I don't know if that person really believes this. That's pretty interesting, I guess, if they would admit it. I wonder what people would say. But so he said all this stuff, and I think maybe we kind of entertained the idea of going there if we were able to also get other content and it wasn't just like pigeon holding ourselves into the fucking flat earth movement with videos, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
we didn't go, and what
Yeah, we
ended
were
up
trying to do a
happening,
follow up, right? Like we wanted to do like a follow up thing. Like that would have been
yeah,
cool
and I
to do a
think
road trip. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think there was like a church too where like they let people eat mushrooms and smoke weed, and we thought it'd be interesting to like do so,
Oh, I remember this.
something
Yeah,
like
yeah. I remember that. Yeah, yeah,
that,
yeah.
like
Yeah, it was
for
yeah.
religion. I think it was a video on religion, and it was going to be the church that allowed people to smoke inside of it and like eat
I forgot
psychedelics
about
and
this.
shit.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
But so we didn't end up doing it. But then I start seeing Logan Paul start promoting that he's going to do a video about the flat Earth, and it's like a
Yep.
trailer comes out, and then I like totally didn't care that much at that point, but then I realized Logan Paul is the one that was a special guest
That was the
at this
celebrity.
Denver flat Earth conference, and the whole thing fucking Logan Paul did was pretty much. I feel like he maybe they saw. I don't know, man. No one else was doing that much cool shit of quality about the flat Earth besides us and my brother. But and it was all a spoof. It was all just making fun of it. And I
Yeah.
guess right
And this was
when
before he
Logan,
was like massive too. Like this was like right before he did that whole like infamous video in Japan. Like this was like before all that. So like this was like when he was like known in the YouTube space and like he was big on Vine, but like he wasn't like the personality he is now, like where he's everywhere. But yeah, like he was like the celebrity, and we were like, that's the
yeah,
celebrity? Like really?
and then it was a spoof the whole fucking time. And I guess what happened is it caused like some drama there.
Yeah.
And Mark like walked out the minute that like Logan Paul started talking because he realized what it was. You know what I'm saying? And like
He
no
was
one even
pissed. Yeah,
cared. But
I wouldn't.
that
I'd be
was pretty.
pissed.
That I
Yeah.
would. I don't know if I would be pissed, but I would be like, that ain't cool, bro. You know what I mean?
It's
Come
not
here and
cool.
fucking
Yeah. I
spoof my
mean,
shit and like make a mockery of it. But then again, I mean,
yeah.
people do that with all religions, and religions, they hold their own against it. They don't fucking make it out to be like
I
it's
mean
the most
the
fucked up thing
Mormon. I
ever.
mean, the Mormons kind of got it right when they were just leaning into like the criticism and the mockery, and they were just
Yeah,
like, no,
dude.
we like it, and they're like, really, all right, like they're
Yeah, it's
kind of
like why
cool.
not, dude? It's like anything that you're a part of that has a movement behind it is gonna have people that are the ops,
Yeah,
bro, and that want to fucking talk shit or whatever. It's just life. But so that was the flat Earth thing, man. Is that was a fucking awesome video. That was very fun. I had a great time doing that. The meetup. I don't even know like if it's still a thing though that has that much steam. Like when is it? Have you met anyone in like the last year that's fucking brought up the flat Earth to you? You know what I mean?
I don't even know. Like I think it's become such a joke now that it almost like became like a meme, like the Area 51 raid that happened, like that everybody was like gonna
So
run
maybe that
in or
means it's
whatever.
real. So maybe that means it's
Possibly.
real, bro. They
I
were
mean, I
all
think
right, I
that
guess, is what the point is.
I think like when I think like what happened was, and again, I'm not gonna speak ill-willed of our people that we worked with on that dock, but I think it all
Nah,
kind of
dude, they're
came
all great.
collapsing down when they failed that experiment on camera like multiple times or whatever. I think that's when it started slowing down. They like did the test or whatever and they failed and it like proved the earth was round or something like that, and they're like,
That's what really separates the real from the fake, bro.
you know,
When you can't prove something, like it takes another kind of dude to stick by it, and I
it's
think
called
that's
faith at that point. That's faith, yeah.
there it is. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. That's why it's
That's
just
all
like
it is,
religion,
yeah.
man. It's a faith based organization or movement, and that's cool.
Yeah.
But dude, I think we'll probably end up stopping soon. But the
Yeah, that's
other
fine.
thing I did want to touch on though, let's watch one video, bro.
We got it. I mean,
What
we could do this again at some
I
point because
mean,
I know we have a
again,
lot to cover here, but
that's why
we
it's
get
being one day when we have endless amounts of time or something.
this
Maybe
is
we
I
could do
mean,
like
like for everybody
a
watching,
super
like
long one.
this is what happens when we hang out. We just don't stop just talking. Like we hang out. This is what
So
happens.
I think this character, dude, that we used to that we did that I performed, that you directed and all this stuff.
I know who you're
It might
talking
be
about, yeah.
controversial by today's standards,
Possibly.
because I
Yeah.
didn't think about it, but the way that this character started is it's young baby bird bath, and it stems from a satirical view of like cash money, young money, all this stuff.
What was
Baby
happening in
from
rap, yeah.
Baby, the guy from Young Money, he kind of talks like this, like he has like a very soft spoken, like childlike voice. He's a thug, beat me up, so I ain't talking shit, you know what I'm saying? But he has like a very specific tone in his voice, Little Wayne did. So the whole vibe was just this really like over accentuated character based off of these traits. And it's called Young Baby Birdbath. And I put up like a little snippet of the video the other day on my Instagram because I was feeling nostalgic, and I thought, man, it'd be so great to do something with this character. And I wonder how people would receive it right now. And there's a few people that were like, nah, dude, next, But I think it's because like climate wise, I think it's just because I said bitch, to be honest with you, because the song is called Bitch Came Over, and I think Colin and the whole song is pretty
But
much
it
just
wasn't but
bitch
it
came
wasn't
over
but it wasn't saying
with a
anything
baby
specific.
stroller. you
I
know.
mean, it's a satire. It's all satire, but yeah, it's like it's just a
but
general thing. Yeah.
and that's why I think it's important to like. I think who cares about like what one or two people say, but it's important for people to maintain a level of humor and like understand that if I'm trying to be a goofy ass character, anything I say means that it's not serious, and like people that actually say these things are goofy ass characters. You know what I'm saying?
But
Like
let
I
me
think that's
speak
what
really
people
quick.
miss a lot of the times.
The funniest thing is like you have to understand like the comedy with this was that you were so lazy. Like the character was so lazy. Like you almost didn't move in the first few videos. Like you're just like slouched, and like your music was so lazy and like not even inflicting your inflecting your voice. It was like so lazy because we were making fun of the fact that these artists that were big at the time were just lazy rappers. They would just like write about nothing really, and they would just like stand around in the video. And so like the joke was like it's just lazy writing, lazy acting, lazy personality. Like it's just like you were just like we got progressively lazier. Like the thing at the end was like the most like slouched, like you were just sleeping at that point.
Oh,
It's
dude,
just it
but
was so funny to me. Like this is
but
always makes me laugh.
we'll probably have to do a stream, dude, where all we do is watch because these videos, and it's like I look back on them almost not like I was in them. And
Yeah,
it's like I'm
it's
so
strange. Yeah.
disconnected. It's like now when I go to hip hop shows or something like that, I'm so disconnected from making music. I could almost just purely be a third person perspective of a show instead of feeling like I'm an artist and I have this artist perspective of it. And like, so
Yeah,
watching
it's
these
yeah.
videos, man, it's like super nostalgic and they're so funny, dude. Like, I think
You
we
were
did
method. You
one,
were a method
we,
actor. That's what you
you
were.
know, we
Yeah.
did one with one of my fucking favorite people to do videos with. Dude, the guy is just naturally one of the funniest fucking people on the earth. But Pimply Wimp, when
I
Charlie
love
Sheen.
that guy. Yeah,
So,
he's so
so,
good.
so let's do this in the last 5 minutes or so. Let's introduce you guys because this is going to be a little foreshadowing of maybe we'll just do a whole stream and we'll do like funny videos that we used to do and
There's
shit
a
like
lot.
that.
Yeah, there's
But
plenty.
but this is just an introduction. I'm not gonna put the whole video. You guys can go watch it. It ain't hard to
That's a
find. It
great,
says the title right there. But
really
this is
quick,
what
by the
Joe is
way.
trying to say by. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say there's a comment here that says the Minute Maid with the straw. Funny story. That's actually not a straw. That's a chopstick because I didn't have a
Yeah,
straw.
yeah. But it worked
It
out
was so
perfectly
stupid.
because
But you
I
never
mean,
had a
dude,
straw. Like every video, we didn't even put a straw in it. We just put a chopstick, so you didn't have to actually drink anything. So it kind of worked. But that's like a little like weird little tidbit there. Yeah. But anyways.
and if you think about it, man, like we can talk about it more next time. But it's like we had fucking a few people interacting with Baby Bird Bat that by you had JD who's like fucking
JD
hosting the Laugh
Witherspoon.
Factory. JD Witherspoon, rest in peace to his father who passed away
Yep.
maybe a few years ago at this point, but awesome fucking guy, dude.
JD's
Tony
great. Yeah.
Cavallero, who's now like in fucking HBO shows and shit. He was the
Tony's
king,
big
the
deal.
School of
Yeah.
Rock.
Yeah.
So it's so cool to have a series that far back that has like that much
That has some
talent,
pretty
dude.
big people in there, yeah. But they
Yeah.
were all like that was the thing, like before you get into this, that's the thing that I always wanted to like point out. The reason why I look back on this so nostalgically is because like even from the start of when I started working in this industry, I like was just surrounded by such talented people, and I just feel like really humbled by that. I'm really gifted, it's like I'm thankful for that because like dude, Tony was like one of my first friends out here because of you, and like Tony was always like the nicest person, so ridiculously talented, and then he would just be like the king of improv. Like he would just jump into the video like we did, and he just nailed the character so fast. And it was like, yeah, it was amazing to like look back on these and be like, yeah, all these people got huge careers now, and it's amazing to watch this.
And it's all because of Baby Birdbath, bro.
Birdbath is what
It's
started it all
all
for
because of
everybody.
young Baby Birdbath. You ask him, bro. It's all because of him. So this is just I'll give you like 15 seconds of like what this character is about, So this is
Yeah.
young Baby Birdbath.
What's up, everybody?
It is like here.
It was member of Baby Money. Young Baby Bird Bath. And I'm making this video to promote the first single off my new album entitled I Only Sign Titties. So, this is a little sneak peek at the new video. Just something to trickle down your throat. And it's entitled Bitch Came Over.
I think that's what people didn't like.
Bitch came over with a baby stroller. I was like, boop, came over. So
And then I
hope
think at
y'all
the end
enjoy
here
the
it's like
family money. young
Oh my
baby
God.
boy and the young baby family.
Is the Twitter handle?
.com/ your boy and the young baby family money. youngbabybirdbath.com.
So
Get at
stupid,
me.
dude. But let me just the other one, just
It's
because
the
the guy
funniest
is
one.
so. This one's
Yeah.
only. How about this? Let's end it after this. Let's play this. This is like one of my favorite videos that I recently stumbled across.
Simply
Fucking
Pimp is
Simply
so
Pimp.
funny.
Me and him. Did you ever do any of the two pimp stuff with us? Or
No,
was
no, no.
that,
That was before I got to LA. That was
think-
Joe Nation.
I think that was Joe Nation and then
Yeah.
Rated RR.
What's going
Which
on,
dude, that guy
everybody?
fucking owned like Black Rifle Coffee.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
He
Oh,
also
this
doing
isn't
huge
it.
things.
This is
No, this is it.
we can get that's a deep dive, bro. No, that's not the one I was thinking about, bro.
Oh, you're
Shit.
thinking of the Charlie Sheen one.
Dude, that video is so damn funny, dude.
The Charlie
I just
Sheen
want
one.
to show you.
Oh my
I
God,
just
the
want to
Charlie.
share another talent with you
Yeah,
guys.
so just so you guys know, Charlie Sheen, the meltdown thing, the Tiger Blood thing, that all literally happened like a week before we shot this video, maybe like less than that. And so our friend who right here, he could do a Charlie Sheen impression like perfectly. So we're like, oh, we're getting him in this video. We're gonna do Baby Bird Bath giving Charlie Sheen an intervention.
Oh my god, bro. We'll
This
watch
was
like
the funniest video. I love this video so much.
this video is longer than what I thought. So I'll play like the first minute, then we'll wrap it up. But for next time, I think we should just damn near watch these funny videos.
We will, yeah. I mean, when we have more time, because
Yeah,
obviously we have a lot of ground to cover here. But I mean, clearly, but
I was stupid for
videos
trying
are.
to be I was stupid for trying to be structured in the beginning, bro. And that's what happens when you have to go professional. I was trying to be all professional, bro. And fucking, we
man,
should
I
have just been
appreciate
watching
it, dude.
Baby Bird Bath videos, dude.
I'm impressed, dude. I was very impressed. Very professional. I feel like I'm in an interview right now. It's great. All right.
Oh yeah, dude. That's the vibe, bro. So
All right.
this is a Charlie Sheen interview. So you'll be introduced another person who I would love to at some point get on live. And if the character there's talks, fucking studio heads, fucking offers or reeling in like fucking bait at a river. I'd love to get Simply Pin back in a video at one point, man.
Yeah, that'd be great.
But let's watch it. Boom.
Yeah, so we're going to my childhood recording artist, Young Baby Bird Bath, to play Wii Resort. He just got the extension pack, and my goddess here and I will be winning.
Little does he know, he's walking into an
That was the apartment in LA.
That was my old apartment. Yeah.
Hey, Charlie. It's so good to see you. It's so good to see you. Whoa, we'll be in videotape. We'll be in videotape. Come on in. Let's play Wii. Let's play Wii.
Piggyback ride!
Whoa,
Duh, winning!
whoa, get off me. Get off me. Get off me. Get off me.
What are all these people doing here?
Charlie, that's what this is about, man. There's nobody here. You're losing your mind. I'm worried about you. And so is me. So come on in. Sit down. Sit on my couch.
This dude is just so good.
So
bro.
stupid. Yeah,
let me
if you
just
want to
find,
pause
like,
this
Like
really
what you're
quick,
wearing.
really, yeah, just so you
Here,
know.
we'll finish that the next time. But
So
yeah, dude,
yes, the
that
videos are
sounds looking
laggy,
forward
by
to.
the way. Apologize for that. Yeah,
Oh,
it's
oops.
hard to see those, but we'll figure that out. This is just a preview. Like we'll do more of an extension of this. But yeah, dude, it's so funny because like I literally always crack up when he walks in and grabs your ass. You go, we're being videotaped.
Dude, I just
Best part ever.
for some
laugh
reason
at
I
every
totally
time.
forgot because I don't know if he still does. He used to live in like the Pasadena area.
Yeah, he's from.
And
there,
I have
yeah,
a
yeah.
thing, man. If I fuck with you, dude, on a serious level as a human being, I probably eat burritos with you. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like eating
an honor,
burritos. That's
yeah.
like it's a social thing, man. And one of the people
Yeah.
I used to do that with is as well as Pimply Wimp, because in Pasadena, it's some of the best fucking Mexican food you could find in those areas.
Yeah, it's true.
But dude, I remember fucking just like he's one of those dudes that you don't know if he's always in character, if he's never in character, if he's always that person. And I don't know, bro. That
He was
that dude
so
just
method.
always just tripped me out, man. He was a fun dude to be around. And like what have you talked to him at all recently? Just
No,
out of
I haven't
curiosity?
talked to him in a long time. I kept up with him for a long time after we did videos and stuff like that. Like, me and him kept in touch. But yeah, I mean, I did like videos for him sometimes. And yeah, the same thing. Like, I love that guy. He was always so talented, like because he was so old school with like how he treated his job. Like, if he was doing a character that day, that was him all day. Like in between, even beforehand, like he was in that character. So like you sort of had to like wrap your head around that. you know, it was very like Jim Carrey. Like you had to like very much like get used to that because he was so dedicated to like whatever he was doing on camera and like, you know, but like no, super nice guy. Super sweet guy.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, love that guy. Hope he's doing well.
You know, in typical fashion, I started telling a story and totally forgot why the hell I started telling a story. But because of the Mexican food, because of the burritos, man, it ain't hard to catch bloat off a motherfucking burrito, dude. You know what I'm saying? It ain't hard, bro. They eat chips and sauce. I'm already bloated. I'm all bloated pre-burrito. But I remember we had burritos one day, and I walked out and I was like, damn, dude, I feel like a baby buffalo right now, you know? And ever since then, dude, he always called me baby buffalo. And I was looking through fucking like he said like my baby buffalo, like in his weird, you know, vibe that he has, his fucking awesome vibe. But I saw a comment and it said baby buffalo. I was like, why does that sound so, I totally forgot. Why does that sound so familiar? And it was fucking Pimply Wimp, dude.
That's amazing. Yeah.
But he's just
that's sweet guy.
I'm sure he would remember that and he would probably say it to me next time we saw.
Well, actually, funny enough, I met one of my best friends through Ryan too. Like he knew somebody that was another camera operator, like another director, and he had me film something for him, and he brought this guy with him, and like me and this guy Scott like became like super close friends, and he got me a lot of like really big jobs out here, and like, you know, that guy is like I consider like one of my best friends. So it's like he connected me with some incredible people too. Like, so yeah.
Dude, and again, it's like it's all really, you know, shout out to Young Baby Birdbath, bro.
Shout out to Birdbath, bro.
You know, like Young Baby Birdbath.
All connected.
He was really the first to do so many things, you know, but
he was a trendsetter,
bro.
He was a
yeah.
Anyways,
he was a foreshadowing of the future, and I'm glad that I'm in it, man.
Talesman, as they call it, yeah.
Nostradamus like. But nah, dude, hey, so next time we'll definitely do some sooner than later here. We'll watch some videos because I would also, man, we got music videos, all kinds of dope shit we could do, dude.
We got a lot of things to talk about, yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate you being on though, bro. It seems as though everybody, I mean, dude, you got people saying this is the best live ever, dude. You know what I'm saying? Well, it was said after the Young Baby Birdbat segment. So it's like, again, is it just Young Baby Birdbat doing these things?
Honestly, I think it's Birdbat, but we'll take the credit.
It is
the credit, you know? Yeah.
It is, dude. But no, I appreciate you, bro. Have a great rest of your night, man. Thank you to everybody in the chat. Thank you for all of you guys hanging out. Shout out to everybody watching after it on YouTube after it's been live. Hopefully you can catch the next one live in effect, whatever the fuck people say. But until then, catch you next time. Is that a thing? Catch you next time. Yeah,
that's a catchphrase.
Catch you next time. All right, later, guys. Have a good one.
Thanks, guys.